Well, hello there, family, friends, and YouTube. I have a new positioning on my microphone, so I want to try out that audio, see how that works. And while I'm out here today, I thought I would discuss something that Robert White just gave me an idea about. He just released a video on all the things that he had put on his bike, and that reminded me of when you purchase your Gold Wing, all of the things that you're probably going to need that you just didn't know right off the bat. I'll give you an example. When you go to purchase your Gold Wing or motorcycle of any kind, you're going to need gear, and gear is not cheap. So you have to take into consideration the helmet, the gloves, and the riding jackets, the protective gear that you're going to be wearing. So, to give you an example, I had toyed with the helmet idea for some time. I went back and forth between the shoey and then adding a comm system to it versus purchasing a helmet that already had a comm system. To give you an idea of what that's like, you know, a shoey helmet's like $600, and then you put a, you know, Cardio Edge or Senna system onto the helmet. That's another $400 or $500. So you've spent $1,000, $1,100 just on the helmet. Or you could purchase a helmet that has a comm system already built into it. Now, if you're purchasing a regular motorcycle, not a Gold Wing and not one that has audio and all the Bluetooth capabilities, then you could get away with just a regular helmet. You don't need comm systems. You can use that later. But if you buy a Gold Wing, of course you want all these features to come through your headsets. So the helmet, again, I'm not picking any particular brand, but the helmet is an important part. That's why I picked, myself personally, the Senna Impulse. That gives me everything I need as far as comm system and mesh if I ever wanted to travel in groups. I don't really travel in groups, but if I were, I'd have a mesh system, able to talk to the group. So after you get your helmet, of course you're going to need some gloves. Gloves are a personal thing, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever you think that you could just simply trip on the sidewalk and protect your hands. And I know that's not an example of a crash because I've had several in the past when I was young. Sliding across pavement, asphalt is very uncomfortable and does cause a lot of road rash. So you have to take that into account. Then you have to take into account the type of protective gear you're going to wear on your body, like your coat, with elbow pads, shin pads, things of that nature. So those three basic things you're going to need. Now, some will go so far as to get riding boots and things like that. I'm not a boot guy, but I'm not a regular straight tennis shoe guy either. I will not wear, while riding a motorcycle, any footwear that is not made of leather. So I'm not promoting Nike or Reeboks, but you can get tennis shoes out there that are made of leather. They will withstand the slide on the pavement. And I know that sounds gloomy to talk about all that, but that's when you're riding a motorcycle, that's the nature of the beast. You have to talk about the protective gear. Now, a lot of people, including myself, ride with just blue jeans. Blue jeans are definitely better than sweatpants or shorts or anything like that. But folks, blue jeans will shred on asphalt. If you don't get the tumbling on that asphalt and you just slide, you're just going to shred right through your blue jeans like they weren't even on. But it's better than nothing, and it's, you know, also based on comfort. So, having said those basic things right there, then you have to consider, like I did, I couldn't because I bought a bagger version of the Gold Wing, I could not have that small shield that it came with. So I wanted to be able to tour, so I went ahead and purchased a show chrome tall windshield. So it's tall and wider. It's a couple inches taller, a couple inches wider than the one that comes on the touring package. The one touring package of a Gold Wing is the one with the trunk on the back. So at any rate, I had to get a windshield, but the first thing I bought at the dealership was I had my riding gear ordered, but the first thing I had to buy at the dealership is when I realized that the bagger version did not come with a kickstand. I mean a center stand, and a center stand is important if you plan on doing anything to your bike. You're going to need that center stand. I usually don't trust the standard kickstand anyway, and now on these DCTs where you have to have a parking brake applied, you know, that's another thing. So anyway, I had to purchase an OEM center stand right off the bat. I didn't even leave the showroom without purchasing that. They didn't have it in stock, of course, but I ordered it right there. So with that and the windshield, those were the two major things that I wanted to obtain. Now, having done that, I'm going to talk about some things that you're going to need to consider when you have a motorcycle. It's like myself. You have these Gold Wings, and I know you've probably seen many articles, many videos, many reviews about the vulnerability of an aluminum engine being exposed, the bottom of your bike. That is just the engine. There's no crash bars, there's nothing there. So between you and the surface of the road is that aluminum engine. And people have already reported going over speed bumps, hitting major obstacles in the road, and actually cracking the engine. When you do that, of course, all the oil is going to drain out and everything, but more importantly, hopefully you don't get hurt, but more importantly, you're going to have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage to a motorcycle that already cost thousands and thousands of dollars to purchase. And when I purchase a brand new Gold Wing like this one, I have 464 miles on it right now. And when you purchase a Gold Wing, you would think that the price of a motorcycle would automatically include rugs to go in your luggage packs, protection underneath your engine, a belly pan, you know, some things that you would figure would automatically come with it. But you'd also figure that Honda wouldn't design a motorcycle that would be capable of picking up road debris and causing thousands of dollars worth of damage. Now, some of you say, well, what's the odds of that happening? What's the odds of me hitting something? Well, one gentleman on the internet simply went over a speed bump, and it bottomed out the bottom of his bike, causing 12 or upwards thousands of dollars in damage. Other people have hit obstacles that were in the road. It's not uncommon to see a muffler in the road. It's not uncommon to see big rocks that fall off the side of the hills, big rocks in the road. It's not uncommon for a car in front of you to kick up some obstacle. So you have to ask yourself, what are the odds of you, let's say, what are the odds of you hitting a bird? It might be slim to none, but there has happened. What's the odds of you picking up a 3-inch nail in a motorcycle tire? Seems like far-fetched to me, but it's happened. So we do these things, we buy protective gear and all that for the what if scenarios. What if this happens and what if that happens? We wear riding gear. We may not wreck for 20 years, but it's that one time we do is what that gear pays for itself. Well, the one time you have an incident that hits the bottom of your motorcycle and causes that much damage, I don't want a motorcycle that has been damaged to that extent and then the engine rebuilt. To me, it's never going to be the same as it did when it came from the dealership. So those are risks. So what I'm saying, I guess I took a long way around it, and that's a very unsafe driver. I guess what I'm saying is, why take the risk? Get yourself, he is just very crazy on his riding, but anyway, get yourself a belly pan. Now, what kind can you get? You can get some from Wing Stuff. You could find different belly pans. I don't really endorse products, but some of the belly pans that you get will extend a half inch or more outside both sides of the bike, which could impact your leaning capabilities and curves and cause you to scrape. But the belly pan of choice, and my recommendation would be the Traction Dynamics engine guard. When you feel the weight of that, when you're applying it to your motorcycle, and you feel the weight of that particular protection guard, you will understand immediately how safe you feel. If you can hit, you think you can hit anything when you have that on the bottom. It is extremely durable, but that is one of the first things that you have to purchase. So when we talk about purchase priorities, we're talking about your helmet, your gloves, your riding gear, and some footwear of leather sorts. Make sure your footwear is leather of some kind, and belly pan for a Goldwing, a engine guard, something to protect the bottom of your motorcycle, the bottom of your investment. So that's right off the bat. But that leads into the second thing that you should probably purchase right after getting your new Goldwing, and that is some kind of educational system. Now, you could get books and stuff, but there's nothing like watching people do stuff. So I would recommend getting maintenance videos from Cruiseman Garage, which will show you how to take I guess people refer to it as the Tupperware, how to take different parts of the plastic off of your motorcycle so that you can do basic work. Now, I changed or added before having his videos, I don't have them yet because I'm still in transition, but I will be getting his videos. But one of the first things I did to this bike was put a battery tender on there. You would think something like that, simple as that is, but when you remove that cover that protects the battery, or that covers up the battery, when you remove that cover, putting it back on, if you don't know what you're doing or how to do it, is very, very entertaining. I had a fit trying to put that back on. You have to lead a certain way, but these maintenance videos were designed to show you how to do that. So again, other than your basic riding gear, my recommendation would be belly pan or engine guard right off the bat. I mean, I wouldn't even ride the bike more than 50 miles if you can avoid it without having that engine guard put on. Then the very next thing is to get you the Cruiseman Garage videos. He doesn't sponsor me or anything like that. I don't get anything from him for free, so I just want to let you know that I am simply telling you that he has all the videos that you're going to need on a Gold Wing and how to do your own maintenance. That's save you a lot of money. So those two things right off the bat. Now I know on my particular case, I purchased a center stand and a windshield and all that. That's, you know, those are things that you can do. That's not necessarily a priority, but the priorities are riding gear, then protect your bike, protect you and your body, then protect the bike. And part of protecting your bike is also knowing how to work on it and how to fix things so that you can avoid some of those ridiculous service charges to get basic stuff done. So that is what I was wanting to cover briefly out here on this nice morning. I wanted to touch on what I thought purchase priorities should be. And I would say, remember that you start off with protective gear for your body, but then protect your motorcycle. Should all be about the same thing. And then invest in your motorcycle by making sure you have the things that you need to be able to do general maintenance. I'm not talking about major stuff, and nobody asking you to replace pistons or tear an engine apart. I'm talking about the basic stuff that you can save a lot of money on. But removing these plastic fiberglass pieces from your motorcycle, as simple as it may appear, it's not. These are some of them have you have to slide certain directions, some of them you have to pop off, you have to do different things. So the engine guard, then immediately followed by the videos, so that you can feel comfortable about doing anything. And then we can go into your battery tenders, things like that. But I'm not going to tell people what they should or should not buy. I just thought after seeing Robert White's video, I thought that's a good idea. Let's talk a little bit about that. And that's what I chose to do. I chose to come out here this morning and quickly touch on that. I'm also testing out the new audio to see how I like this audio, and I thought I would review that with you. Anyway, I'm going to just wrap this video up. I didn't mean for it to turn into a long video. I just wanted to touch on a few things. But you got a brand new Gold Wing and you want to take care of it. Protect your body, protect your Gold Wing, and learn how to work on it. Those are all key factors of being able to ride long and safe. So until next time, thank you for watching.